get along, evidently. She was careful, very careful. And there was a sister, Clara.
Let's do that one more time because I didn't quite have the it coordinated right on the broadcast. So let's do that again.
Although she said she couldn't do the name for everybody, which is not correct. Yes, when she came back and started to smell the mess with the growing center, her whole heart was to have her children there. She didn't, the struggling so just to get along, evidently. She was careful, very careful. And there was a sister, Clara.
Our ceremony. And you do have some more emails coming today. You got one yesterday. We're doing some follow-up on that email today. And we are very concerned about the situation of our family and our world. And praying to God as God all the time. And I only wish I could do these things more quickly, but there's limitations with the computer and so forth. So just have to understand that the important steps are for you to take now. Take a step toward each other and toward me. Take the step. The light is on in all our hearts. We have with us marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers in water. Hugs and love to all, both in each and every one, as soon as possible. We'll say it again. The light is on in all our hearts. We have with us marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers in water. Hugs and love to all, both in each and every one, as soon as possible. And we'll say, Namaste, mitukuye oyasin, mitukuye koseviral, kong pax culture, tubes, sedleric, tubes, jinque, chop chop, sayonara, das vidanya, let me back up and say Kong Pax culture, Pax culture, peace culture, Tubes, Sedleric, Tubes, Bahava, L'chaim, Shalom, Salam, Mir Pache, Mir, Merci, Ubuntu, Buenos Dias, Ciao, Schlanzwag, Das Vidanya, Sayonara, Chinque, Chop Chop, Cheerio, and good day, and cheerio. And we'll also say, let's love and live eternally young, longest, and prosper all, both in each and every one. As Equinox, True Cues, Solar, Permaculture Community, Gardening, Marvelous, Miraculously, Budding, Blooming, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Savior. Let's do it this way. Well, this is on all our planets, past, present, and future. And let's say, let's love and live eternally young, longest, and prosper all, both in each and every one. As Equinox, True Cues, Permaculture Community, Solar, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Saviors of our Gardens of Edening and Elysian Fields on this and all our planets. Past, present, future, Atlantis risen. As Equinox, True Cues, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Saviors of pink, green, and rainbow light. Heart light, okay? Heart lights and flower and all of our budding, blooming flowers. And of course, this is most important for our culture, we'll drink the milk of human kindness, recognizing that all people are kind, are kin. We are related. Mitukuya Oyasin, we are all related. The milk of human kindness on behalf of all, both in each and every one, representing all, both in each and every one, and I especially want to focus on the importance of 2 to 3 years on cue breastfeeding for all our holy baby girls and all our holy baby boys. That's everyone. That means you. And it means the people, especially important to me and my family, and it means everyone that you've ever known. And if you or other people that you know did not have optimal breastfeeding, when we switch off of being a militaristic, nationalistic, patriarchal culture and switch on to be a parity paradisal culture, there'll be plenty of time. The modalities are already there to heal people, even from early injuries and deprivations. We have the ability to do it. We're just not doing it on a large scale. So we have to do that. And then we'll also say that we'll drink the milk of human kindness throughout our lives as Equinox 2Qs, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Saviorahs, pink, green, and rainbow heart-lighted, all of us, budding, blooming flowers. And so we'll drink on behalf of all, both, and each and everyone, representing all, both, and each and everyone as soon as possible. Delicious. And we'll drink the liquids of Purim and Passover. We have our fruit juices and our fermented wine of Vedic India Soma and Entheans of Eleusinian Mysteries. All of the liquids, we include the chocolate and the cocoa of Latin America, South America. All of the sacramental liquids, but none are more important than the milk. Let's drink on behalf of all, both, and each and everyone, representing all, both, and each and everyone as soon as possible. As Equinox 2Qs, permaculture, gardening, budding and blooming, Co-Secretary Generals, Solar, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Saviorahs. Delicious. I drink on behalf of all, both, and each and everyone, and representing all, both, and each and everyone, past, present, future, as Equinox 2Qs. Gardening, Co-Secretary, Solar, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Saviorahs. And we'll drink the water of loving, living planets that will reclaim our planet Earth and all our Earths to be, past, present, future, as Solar, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Saviorahs. You can see the solar lights here, the stars, and Co-Saviorahs, Equinox 2Qs. Past, present, future on this and all our reclaimed Garden of Eden, Eleusinian, Fieldian planets. And we'll celebrate and re-celebrate all our birthdays, conception days, name days, and holy days, past, present, future, as Equinox 2Qs, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Saviorahs, starting with our Shekinahs, past, present, future, and then also including our young Shekinahs and Shekinahs, those aged 37 and younger, that time of life where they're not yet stuck in patriarchy, and as entrenched in it as they can become later on. So let's celebrate you all. And we start with our equinox and our vernal and autumnal equinox birthdays joined together throughout our solar months, also making the circle and the arcs. And we'll turn back time and bring back what we've missed in celebrations. And we'll say that again. We'll celebrate and re-celebrate all our birthdays, conception days, name days, and holy days as Equinox 2Qs, solar, marvelous, miraculously, budding and blooming, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Saviorahs. And then we also show our Purim cookie, our Passover wafer. I do this every day. Why? Because we didn't do it in the right time, did we? So we have to get back, and I can't stop doing it until we actually, and I won't stop doing it ever, because these ceremonies are worth doing every day anyway. I love doing them. Why don't you? Why aren't you doing them with me? Wake up, everybody. And we have our Purim cookie and our Passover wafer. The cookie is not the Hamantashen squared off triangular hierarchy hat. It is a round circle of shared parity and pureness. And here we have our Passover wafer. Why is it flat? Because under patriarchy, people always have to run around, running away from tyranny, and it gets in everyone's way, and they never have any time. So just a few old patriarchs rule, and everybody else goes crazy and starts wars and all kinds of nonsense on each other, because they don't see how absurd it is that the women are not involved in decision making. So, you know, when you don't see that, and our culture doesn't seem to get that quite yet, a little bit confusing tokenism with parity. It isn't parity, is it? Wake up, everybody. And then there's the ones who don't even want tokenism. And they're all over the Middle East. That could come in here too, right? So wake up, everybody. Time to wake up. And we'll create these promises holidays of Purim, Passover, and Esdras and Easteras, Yasser and Easter, all the promises of 50-50, promised land, life without death, eternal life, will make it so. You'll become Atlantis risen, simply applying the new millennial golden rule, sharing it, very easy to do from neighborhood to neighborhood, and will become risen females and risen males, past, present, future, as equinox trucus, solar, rainbow heart-lighted, pink and green, co-secretary generals, co-saviorats. And we remember that, of course, that all grains are not wheat. We have other cultures. You've heard from Lee this week already of Chinese heritage. We have our rice. We have our oats. You'll be hearing more. We'll eventually get those Granick, Skakel, Fitzgerald, the Kennedy Shriver people involved in this, and we'll begin to have a big shift. Now, are we out of time? I don't know. We're way beyond time, but I keep interceding and praying with Mother, Father, Goddess, God. So let's hope we're not out of time. And because time is a function of heart. If the heart is engaged, the time expands. Okay, that's the way it works. So, so we have shown you that and that and that. Okay, and so now we want to do the eggs of egalitarian culture. Oh, they're in the refrigerator. Let me go get them. Come right back. I'll come right back. Let's put our marvelous, miraculous, virtual place up on the screen on the broadcast, and I'll be right back and get them. And these are our bonobos that know how to be goddess and gods, eggs of egalitarian culture, egalitarian. And we start with one egg. I'm an egg. You're an egg. Everybody's got an egg in them. Everybody has an X chromosome. Women have two. We're special eggs. We're double eggs. And so here's an egg I've called the circle. The circle's always around us. The universe is a sphere. Okay? The reason you have trouble with what I'm telling you is I am a sphere and you're living in flatland. Read that story and you'll understand what I'm talking about. And then we also have two eggs like Lee and I and Henry and I that you've often heard gathered here together, and always within the sight of the Mother Goddess aspect of the universe, the yin aspect of the universe, as well as the entire whole yin-yang aspect, always watching. So that's another circle, and always there. And then the best thing to do is gather with at least 3 women. We want to start out with 3-way calls or on the conference line, 3 women, and anoint one another and begin to anoint one another. There's parity, not patriarchy. As equinox trucus, co-secretary generals, co-saviorats, risen goddesses of Atlantis, risen in all holy lands, risen. Egalitarian culture, Essenes, whatever you want to call it. These are names for different people that have existed at various times in human story and have guided, and then humanity has not paid the attention to what they're saying. Why don't we pay attention? Because we're embedded in patriarchy and we don't have enough awareness to see that. When you see that clearly, then you follow the advice of anthropologists and you don't do that anymore. So, and so we become our three eggs of egalitarian culture, and let's add more women. Between 7 to 11 women is optimal, ideal, and anoint one another. And have apotheosis as divine feminine. Eternally young. That means we're mother goddesses, those of us who have older age, mother clan age, but we retain our youth inside, and eternally. And then we call to us our younger generations who have their youth right now, and we want to make sure they don't lose it. So we have our younger women and our younger men. Let's get 2 younger women and 2 younger men to symbolize sister cousinhood and cousin brotherhood. Ideally, even more, 3 young women and 3 young men, or 4 young women and 4 young men. And let's do it that way and bring them together and anoint them and co-anoint them and anoint and co-anoint one another. And then we have the beginnings of egalitarian society. When that happens, the conversations between 2 women improve. They're less trivial, or they're less fraught with push me, pull you nonsense that goes on with women, because they're not healed of their mother wounds or fully differentiated from their mother figures. They'll have the circle within them and around them, and that will give them the confidence to be more and both more kind and more courageous. And then the same thing is true of our sister cousin and brother cousin relationships. The brother cousins have to be called accountable, as I have done. You've seen me do that with several male cousins of our family. Call them to accountability for their behavior, and call them in front of the whole world for what they did in our family story. But they didn't do it alone. They had women, henchmen, and enablers that did that with them. So this is a dance that women cousins and male cousin brothers do. And only when we look at all of the aspects of patriarchy, but not only what men do with bullying and domination, but what women do with enabling and mutual disregard, do we get out of that mess. And then we have better sister-brother relationships, even within families and among families of sister cousins and cousin brothers and all people. And then once we have that, our egalitarian marriages thrive, as they already are shown much more thriving than patriarchal marriages. The studies are very clear that patriarchal marriages result in a lot of pain, and particularly for the women, but also for the men. And that egalitarian marriages are happier. They are happier, and they are better, but they are under more stress in a patriarchal culture, and so they often wind up in a divorce scenario, because the more egalitarian people are very stressed in a patriarchal culture. So we have to fix that, and then we also have to fix the relationships of men to men, or any groups of men, from the false hierarchies. Get rid of these nonsensical hierarchies of nationality and ethnicity, race, income level based on the false gross domestic product notions, and birth order, and all the other things that men do to really harm one another. They do quite a bit to harm one another. They do quite a bit of harming of one another on this planet every day. So let's help the men out of that mess that comes right out of patriarchy. Wars, crime, all that. They do harm women too. They do a lot of the raping. The problem with the X chromosome, with the Y chromosome in a patriarchal culture, is that there's no limitations that are clearly set by the family community sanctioning and habits, and so people get out of control, and the worst tendencies of the more bestial aspects of both females and males come forth under patriarchy, and they disappear and are replaced by more higher functioning under egalitarian culture. So let's do that, and then we have to remember that each one of us is an egg, and we contain the entire circle. The yin-yang balance within us, we have a desire for it, we seek it, but if we're too embedded in patriarchy for too long, our life forces begin to diminish, and we become murderous toward other people, or self-injurious, or in other words, sadomasochistic, and our culture begins to flounder and falls apart. And that's happened a lot of times, hasn't it? So we can learn the lessons now. We have the anthropology to tell us what causes that and how to stop that. And the way to stop it easily is that marvelous, miraculous way that we have given you, the New Millennial Golden Rule. and the kitty skits, and the 11 steps. Okay, and you have that, all of that. Okay, and now we're going to do our consciousness currencies. And these are our, now, I'm calling the circle. None of you are here. So, you know, we're all set up for a disaster. You're waiting, you're sitting on a disaster, I'm telling you. It may start with injuries to some of our younger people. And then it will trigger a whole series of events that will be disastrous for this planet. Why? Because our family has an unusual genealogy connecting every major modern religion and also goddess culture of Atlantis and other ancient cultures, the ancient Middle East and everywhere, and Europe. So if we don't get this, our world will not make it. You know, it is up to you. I'm sorry. It's on your plate. You're going to have to step up to the plate. I can't say it the other way. Step up to the plate. Okay, and come connect and come co-broadcast. We have here our consciousness currencies of our Wienerian, Adelian, Morellian, Margilian, it's all marvelous and miraculous. Margilian, Silver Golden Kindian, Zalkindian, Feldmarian, Herstian, Herzogian, Sweet, Sagan, Yancer Slate, or singing crickets, the sunflowers, and all the different Native American names. Barat, Sokolovian, Baratzian, many more names that are intertwined on our family trees. Goldbergian, Goldbergian, Gorian, Cavalarian, Malarian, Newcomerian, Lichtian, Lighton, all of them, all of these names, and also Lee Winfrey names too. So we include all of them, but we start with our family and our great and grandmothers. And you have to bring their names. I've given you a bunch, but you not anywhere by names. All of them. We need more of them, all of them. And we start with the great and grandmothers that are pictured here, and then we start with our current generations of women around age 38 and older. Especially important to re-anoint into their goddesshood, which they have lost in our patriarchal and tokenist culture. And we have then our younger generations, our females and males. Our younger Shekinas and Hikinas, sister Kazinas and cousin brothers, and they get a chance to start out fresh instead of being pulled down into the quicksand mire of patriarchy that will destroy our planet. So let's give everyone their big kisses. They're all here. You know, your pictures are there on the section of the website at 5050now.wordpress.com under the area Congresses, grassroots Congresses, assemblies and courts, and it really is flowering grassroots congresses, assemblies, and courts, and budding, blooming, and flowering, and then there's the section right underneath there that you can find this called you, and among the representatives, you, and you. Okay, and here we are, and this is what they are, and let's give the kisses. And then we have our multiple branching family tree. A multiple branching family tree. We especially thank Sarah Harriet and Ray and Sarah Harriet for giving us this marvelous, miraculous, virtuous place to envision, to go back to in time, and we can actually go there physically on the ground soon, as well as to many places in our family stories of travels in this part of the world and around the world. And we can go there both virtually, literally satellite view, and also by on the ground. And it's very important that we do go on the ground and do some commemoratory activities there. So we thank them, and we also want to include all the other women, Hannah and remembered, Hannah and Libertia and Estrella, and as I said, it's Sarah Harriet and Ray and Clara. Sarah Harriet and Jacqueline is included in an older generation, but she's with our older women in the middle section here. um, let's see, Precious Antoinette, Risen Rose, Grandma Marie, Grandma Popper, Dorothy, Lynn, Rachel, and more, equally including Rose, Marie, Pearl, and Myrtle of the Native American heritages of Anna Marie and Mount Patricia's family, and many, many more there. And of course, we include Hattie Mae and many more in the Wee Linfree tree, and Gorgie, and Lillian Gay, and many, many more there. And we also include all our Brannock Skakel, Fitzgerald, Kennedy Shriver people, and the Zhang, as Lee's family, Zhang, Chan, all of those family, and all of our Vedic India heritage, our Hungarian Romania comes through there. We've got all these people that we're including, all these intertwined surnames on our family and community tree. And also, did I not mention, need to mention Malka and Shirley, the Goldenberg tree also is entwined here. So now that we have our current generations of women, and we start with Marion, and with Victoria, Julia Marie, and I, and Rachel, Alexandra, Juliana, and Francesca. All our Anns, our various Ann Margulies on this tree, Candace, many, many more. Ivy, many our Margulian women. And then we also get to our Silver Golden Kindian women, including Bacha and Helene and Sherry and Arlene, remembering Thelma and Lillian and Lee, who I forgot to mention up here, and Rose and Adele, and also our all Kindian women, Bruce and Marcia and Denise, remembering Bruce and Rose and Marie, and many, many more, including our Solomon women. They're also intertwined here. Hannah Greenbaum and Solomon, and Mrs. Light is part of that community. Sylvia with her daughter Bonnie, and also included, and as a reference to bringing them back, actually. And then we also have all our Feldmarian family of Andrea, Meredith, and many, many more here. Cheryl comes through that line connection to us, and we don't know her surname, but we need to find her maternal surnames. Very important. We'll find out something very, very unique and important there if we find out Cheryl's maternal surnames. And we also include Anna Marie and Ma Patricia with Martha, Sophie, Pauline, and Laura, and also Alicia and Krishnandra, Patricia and Oprah, and all of the Brannock Skakel, Fisketting clans are all there, and all of the Shuyan, Lee's mother, and we're all including Esther's mother, with Esther, Ilsa, and did I say, I think I said Susan, Sarah, and Jodine and Laura, and also remembering Beth Ann, all of those on this level here. And then of our circle, but these are generational levels, but they're all circles within circles. And then we have our younger women and our younger men. Very equally important to our egalitarian culture. We all have to think young and value the young. And we're not doing that as a culture at all. How can we have no family leave? Explain that to me. It's just insane. Anyway, we include Hadass and Rachel Marie and Danielle Juliette, Stacy Anastasia, and Soma, and Vanessa with Raquel, Julia Raquel, Lynn and Sharon, and oh, and I neglected to mention in the upper generation here, Donna and Diana. Let me not forget them, and remembering Bessie and Barbara in the further upper generation, and many, many more. We don't know enough of those names. And that's an important name to find out. Diana's grandmother is an important name to find out for our family and for Diana and for us. Diana's our black hole of patriarchal embeddedness. So, you know, and she can come out of it. Everybody can come out of patriarchy once they understand what's going on with their own thought processes and become more egalitarian. It isn't that hard. And so we include, Vanessa and all of her family include Angeline, April, Edith, and Rosa of Anna-Maria and Patricia's clans. We include Rebecca and Sandra of the Zalkinian clan. We include Hesperus and Athena, even earlier up there with the Margulian group. I think I said some already. And we also include Abby and Sarah, and we include Aquarius and many, many more. And we equally include our young men. Ben, Sharon, and John. We include Yishai, Harlan, Luz, Laviz, and Ross, and Itani, and Jared, and Marcel, and did I include in among the young girls Natalie and Elisa, Natalie and Elisa, and we include Brett, and we include many, many more here. And if I've forgotten any names, you include them. And we also include the names of older men who are passed. Once we bring the older women through the stargates, the older men can come through too, and they'll all come through in their youth. They'll come through risen in their youth, and that includes Emmanuel, Julia, and the younger brothers, Joseph, and Nelson, and Carl, and more. And did I always neglect to say, Carrie and Mary, Mary and Carrie, very important. Please excuse me. I do that too many times. Mary lives near Barbara, and a very important woman. I really need to pry her out of Heidi, and Carrie also. Very important, and I've had contact with Carrie, very important, so we have to pry her out of hiding too. And so we have all of these women, young women, and then we also have our young men who I've mentioned, and the older men who I've mentioned too. So we bring everyone into connection via the stargates, connecting the entire universe. We become Atlantis, Stargate Atlantis risen. And our vessels will be solar powered. We will not be needing nuclear power. We will not be needing it. We have something better already existing. Solar craft already exists. So let's give everyone kisses. Now, these younger people are endangered. I tell you, they are endangered right now by the lack of connection among the older women on this tree and in their neighborhoods. And I tell you, as soon as that, if there's a problem for any of our younger generation in this family tree, there's going to be disasters will begin to roll out all over the place. Be careful. Get on these phone lines and come and enjoy these contacts. And here's my particular branch. You know, I'm working on this issue with the iciness between Julia Marie and Georgine, which is really just a ripple effect from what happened with Julia Marie and Diana, who you're going to hear about later today, and how that affected Jacqueline, and how it all came out of the fact that our family didn't know how to be goddess gathering of women. It's all from the lack of the knowledge of women in patriarchy, of the importance of their gathering. All of the frictions and difficulties that women have with unique individuals come out of the failure of the circle to form. So let's understand that and form that circle. And so we have our Adelian, Morellian, and Margulian, Silver Golkindian, Zalkindian, Feldmarian branches here. My sister and I, with other women in our family, including Georgine, lots of them in the Chicago area, and including Cheryl and Stacey and Anastasia right there and over there, and including all of the especially important, let's really focus on these people that I'm holding up a hand for, Victoria and Mariama, and there are other women kin whose we don't know the exact names for, who are Vanessa's kin. Our family needs these kin for balance to be included in the circle. They need to be known. We need to be in contact with them. And so we also include our young couple here, Vanessa and Harlan Elizabeth, Vanessa, remembering that before they became a couple, they were already sister cousin and cousin brother. They already were pre-existingly related. And like all of the young people in our family tree and all of the women, we are partial reincarnation of incredible, heroic people of egalitarianism in many epochs of the many sojourns of our family on this planet. The most famous, all of us, we are repeating that theme It's not just like nature doesn't in a garden produce only 1 or 2 flowers. Many flowers, variations on theme, interrelated. That's our family. So let's get this group back in touch with the larger family, and the other way around too. You all need to form the circle, and I'll give you the kisses. And the hugs. Okay, and then we'll go back and do our larger circle. Again, here's the larger circle. Make sure they all can be seen there. So you can get on the camera. Okay, there we are. And of course, if I've forgotten any of your names or important names of the family, please include them. And I also include Heather and Jam and Heather, and Dorney Aurora Fleece and Mario Rainbow Sweetheart, and Dorney Aurora Fleece. Say hi and hugs to Heather and Jam and Heather, and on behalf of Whiskers and Tiger, and Holly and Tiger, and Whiskers and Buttermilk and Blackie and Black and Buttermilk, and Felicity and Felix, and all the flora and the fauna, and the furry friends and the pets, the 2 big white dogs and their family too, and all the people too of our local, global, universal neighborhoods, past, present, future, as Equinox GQ, solar, budding, blooming, gardening, the Co-Secretary General's Co-Savior Oz. And then we also show, of course, as we always do, our glass bowl with our rainbow of fruit, and that is us. We're the rainbow. We also cultivate the rainbow in our beautiful gardening and experience it throughout the universe of light. And we'll pick parity, the clarity of parity, past, present, futures, and paradises on this and all our planets, and we'll say no to patriarchal planeticide. We're very close to the beginning of really terrible events of patriarchal planeticide. We've had a number of warnings. They're getting more loud, and you need to pay attention to this, or you're going to be in a disaster area very soon, and your personal lives and your environmental conditions may be intertwined. So be aware that by your failing to come to these broadcasts, you are tempting extreme imbalance, disaster. Okay, so let's make the balance, make the circle. Okay, we can do it. Let's do it real quick. True Q quickly. And as I say, I have emails coming to you, but don't wait on them. Just because I have additional things and tasks that I have to do doesn't mean that you don't have to do your tasks. You have to not be like little babies that are grown up in an authoritarian family and wait for daddy or even mommy to tell you what to do. You have to have some ability to think, well, this woman has been telling us to gather in a circle for like 3 years now. Maybe we should do it. Okay? I should do that right away. And she seems to have a PhD in psychology, so knows a lot about comparative religion, anthropology. Why are we not listening to her? What are we doing? Ask yourself, what are you doing? I don't know what you're doing. I can't figure it out. And here we have, again, we'll say, we'll say all the blessings and all the, we'll say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, all the blessings and all the greetings of all the heritages of our earth on earth, past, present, future, as Equinox True Qs, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Savior Oz. And we'll say again, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, all the blessings and all the greetings of all the heritages of our earth and our earth, past, present, future, is pink, green, and rainbow-colored permaculture, marvelous, miraculously blooming and budding and blooming flowers of the heart light of rainbows of light of our as always springs reclaimed. Co-Secretary General's Kosevraz Equinox QQs. Okay, and I'll go ahead and send this ceremony onto the phone tree. And we did leave an extensive message for Georgine, who doesn't have access to the internet because of what you read about in the email yesterday. So she got a voice message, and she'll be able to pick that up. We'll make sure to let her know about that today. And and then we have another email coming to you today that's focused a little bit on one of the more Republican identified women of our family, who is as most people in that grouping are revealing, are deeply internalized of patriarchy and fearful of women in a way that has to do with their own family stories, and also very often missing women and having strong deep mother wounds. We want to give a healing context for all of the women of our family and community trees. Everybody. That includes you. That includes even the most difficult women. That includes everybody. And then we want to bring our youth to it, and then do some progressive journeying around our greatest important sacred grounds in very many places. We might want to start gathering in Ohio, or there's the option of the Heartland of Chicago. Both of those are good places to start. There's also great danger in New York, where Mary and Hadassah are. There's terrible environmental danger in New York right now. And there is where also Anne-Marie and Patricia are in Oregon because of the volcanic South Sister. So you have to be aware, we're sitting on a powder keg. The way to regain paradise and a happy and peaceful earth is to honor the goddess in all women, in the universe itself. God, honor the yin, nurturing, connecting aspects. And then honor, in balance with that, a yang that is not patriarchal, but it's egalitarian. Okay? That is the divine risen, the divine females and males of all of us. Every blessing. I'll go ahead and put this on the phone tree.
Your greeting has been saved. To change extension type, press 1. To record extension name, press 2. To manage greetings, press 3. To hear messages recorded at this extension, press 4. To delete this extension, press 8. To return to the main menu, press 9.
Okay.
Good, but you're asleep.
I am a nudge, and I'll tell you why. We have a couple of thousands of years of patriarchy internalized in our way of doing
I
things.
haven't got time to fool around with you. I got a serious nonsense appointment this morning.
Well, be very careful, and know that you can call me 24/7, and I suggest that you listen to that message as soon as possible.
Okay.
Every blessing, dear. I want you to do a call to me, and we'll make some three-way calls the way you've received so many.
Okay.
Okay, that's fair and loving. Let's do it. Okay, honey.
Hello?
Hi, honey. I just wanted to say one thing. When you told me the periodontist appointment,
Yes.
our mom, as her Harriet, passed away just after a dentist appointment, the day or the week of a dentist appointment. And I just want you to be aware that you don't want to waste any time in making these calls because every moment is precious. All right? Would you like me to do a conference call with my sister right now?
No, I'm going, kid. I gotta get out of here.
All right, because I could do it in 2 seconds right now.
Oh, I gotta get out of here.
All right, well, after you listen to the message that's on the phone tree, I'll bet you'll be ready and we'll do it. I love you so much. I love you very much, Georgina, and I have beaucoup milk for you. Beaucoup milk.
Okay.
Okay, honey, love you. Okay, now I'm saying it. You're both co-diamonds. All of our family community is filled with a rainbow of gems, the greatest gems, and you all need one another to make that diamond rainbow all work, okay? Everybody needs one another, and the people on it are each extremely gifted, okay? And you are both too, and your mothers are both too. You know that, okay? Now, and your aunties are both too. Okay, so now let me put back on mute.
mute for a second. Okay, now it's off mute. Okay, there. You're connecting to the broadcast. There, it's off mute. Oh, I'm connecting.